All right, Wonder Years fans, we're talking Season 1, Episode 6, entitled Be Prepared. And no, we're not talking about The Lion King. Seriously, that's one of the most underrated villain songs of all time. But without further ado, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe. We are closing in. We're less than 2,200 people away from 190,000 subscribers. Hit that bell icon and select all. That way you're notified when I post content to the channel. But also make sure you are aware that our kind of entertainment will be the name of the notifications you receive. No longer the haves and the have-nots review. Finally, to round things out, follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And yeah, day by day, the subscriber watch time is increasing. We are now around 32% subscriber watch time. So thank you so much for that. Meaning that the views are starting to come more from the subscribers than non-subscribers. So the people who have not been subscribing to the channel have been hitting that subscribe button. And speaking of numbers, I did the video a couple days ago about the Wonder Years getting a full season order from ABC, and prior to recording the video, I did not know the full information regarding the situation since there wasn't an article. But when I posted the video, Deadline talked about how yes, I think what's that other show called, Home Economics or Home Economic, that's also gotten a full season order. Both shows are getting 22 episodes, so we'll be getting 22 episodes of the Wonder Years. So I'd imagine that by episode 10 or 11, we might be getting a mid-season break for the Wonder Years. That way they can take time and film the newly ordered episodes of season 1. So again, congratulations to the Wonder Years for getting booked for a full season on ABC. Now this episode, you can just call it the camping episode. It was a good Dean and Bill, or father and son episode, where the two bonded. Yeah, there were some rough patches along the way, but as a black, a black guy myself, I could relate to the moment where Dean got mad at his father and expected a whooping, but that really wasn't the case. But to begin the episode, Dean is watching TV and he talks about, Don Cheadle talks about how back in those days he really wanted a slice of the middle class suburban lifestyle, from going to the beach or renting out a cabin in the woods or something along those lines. But his father will always have a retort: ain't going to no beach, there are sharks out there. Renting a cabin, bears are in the woods. But when he goes to school, he actually sees that one of his boys, Brad, has a bunch of merit badges from the Scouts, and the guys are impressed. The girls love a man in uniform, so Dean wanted in on the action, but his father said he wouldn't be part of a white troop of scouts, with a scout master. So his mom thankfully comes to the rescue. Troop 24 was the same troop that Dean's older brother was involved with, and it was run by one of the deacons at the church. However, the deacon's gotten a bit older, and since the troop doesn't exist anymore because all the boys from back in the day were trained so well by him, they're now in Vietnam, that they shut it down. But Dean suggests his dad take over due to the fact that, there isn't anything his dad can't do, and he pretty much knows the backstory about the techniques of the Scouts and where they came from. So it's funny how things shift gears drastically because his father gets everything together, reads the Scout books and whatnot, and from there, the boys are doing a bunch of chores. Like early in the episode, he was supposed to stop the leaky faucet, but he wasn't able to do so. You got a kid underneath the sink. You got somebody taking out the garbage, painting the front door, stacking the wood in the house. It's just pandemonium. So Coach Along comes over and pretty much sparks a rivalry with the fact that, hey, you giving these boys badges for basically baking and cleaning. What you need to do is take them out to the woods, earn some real badges like back in the day when I was the Eagle Scout. So the boys get excited and they go out to the woods for a weekend of, being men. So it's funny because Coach Long just has the essentials for making it out in the wilderness, whereas Bill spent a ton of money on, fancy, expensive tents and other equipment in order to make it out in the woods, but turns out him and Dean have a hard time putting up their fancy tent, whereas Coach Long and the boys put together their, tent so quickly, and they go into the woods to get firewood. And it's just one of those episodes where Coach Long shows up Bill at every turn. The kids have a great story about him killing a wild animal to save everybody, and from there they wake up the next morning. Bill got the trumpet, so they get ready to get their nature badges, because Coach Long is like, hey, go examine the area, find a few things about nature, and come on back. But Bill's like, how about we go down for a hike and make it to the lake so we can go swimming, so you can earn your hiking and swimming badges. Yay! But then they get lost, and Coach Long is like, look, I think I can navigate our way to the lake. But Bill is stubborn, and with his walking canes, him and Dean go in the other direction and get lost. So by the time they make it to the lake, it's over. Everybody's headed back. And unfortunately, for Dean, he missed out because the guys met, I think, like another camp troop of girls. And, his boy Corey's like, hey, man, there was one girl with a two-piece who wanted to meet you, and Dean is pissed. So he goes off on his dad for not knowing anything about the woods. And this was the moment he was afraid he would get a beating. But his dad's like, you know what, let's follow Coach Long back to camp. So from there, he's roasting a marshmallow. He's feeling, he knows he did wrong by embarrassing his dad, but he's just so upset he doesn't know how to say it, and his dad's still working on the tent. But, Coach Long sits down and basically reassures him that, yeah, your dad sucks at this stuff, because back when we were kids, we would be the ones going out in the woods, Coach Long and all the other kids in the neighborhood. But Bill would just be at home practicing his saxophone and other instruments, and he's like, yeah, you go ahead and play in the woods. I'm going to work on something that's actually going to pay off in the long run. And then eventually, he made it into like the band and everything with that saxophone. And look at him now, a professor and has music on the radio. And even though he sucks at this kind of stuff, it seems to me he really only did it because he wanted to spend time with you. And that's when, Dean started to realize that, yeah, my dad left his comfort zone in order to do something I wanted to do. And it's one of those moments in reality where your parents aren't perfect. They aren't superheroes without flaws. They all have shortcomings. So Dean starts to help him with the tent, and he says, hey, I haven't had bowel movement in 2 days. Am I going to be okay? He's like, yeah, just don't tell your mom. She'll give you something that's going to be nastier than that beef stroganoff stuff I was giving you guys at the campfire. So a bad storm comes in, and from there, Bill's like, hey, I got an idea to give us one more badge. So they go to like a music club or joint or whatever, and the kids, they think they're drinking, but it's actually just non-alcoholic juice. But one of the guys passes out, and it's all about the music appreciation badge. Bill's pointing out certain things about the band, and they're taking notes. And from there, he's asked to perform. And it was a great, wholesome episode because, yeah, it was just amazing, because it's the reality of learning more about your parents, that they aren't invincible, they aren't without flaw, but deep down, they do stuff because they care. And then to actually have Dean admire his father and his element, that was pretty cool. So, yeah, overall, great episode. I recommend it. Again, congrats to the 1 year for being renewed for a full season on ABC. And with that being said, if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Trust and believe, instead of merit badges, I think YouTube has been telling me that certain members or subscribers can get like stickers or badges. I think it's like YouTube memberships. And remember, I'm still looking into this kind of stuff. That way you're not just donating money to donate money to donate, but you get certain perks. So keep that in mind. But thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.